Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We are back after a new year, and it's a new year, but we have nothing new on the channel more than new videos. Today, we are installing a oil catch can that I ordered out of eBay. I guess link will be in the description. It's a quite simple catch can. This one is quite basic, as you see. There's a way to empty it in the bottom, and then there's an inlet and an outlet. In this case, it's a simple one, so you can't really open it up. There's other models as well that are slightly better than this one, but it's a simple car, so I think it will be fine. These ones are also came with a bracket and a bigger hose clamp. So I suppose you put the hose clamp on or around this one, and then you find a place for the bracket, and you just put it down wherever you find a good location. Come with some hardware and stuff like that, but it's not all the time you could use that kind of hardware, and sometimes you could just, like, if you find a good location, you could basically zip tie it down in the engine, or be a little bit creative where you put it up. It doesn't really matter that much. What this one does is that it's collecting oil fumes and oil that are used, that comes from the blow-by vent on your valve cover. That blow-by normally goes into the throttle body and the intake manifold, and it's getting burned out. So this is a well-known solution for getting rid of that and collecting that oil, instead of that oil getting into your intake and getting burned. This installation is fairly simple. You just taking this hose off, and you're getting one end into the catch can, and you're getting the other end back into the intake. When you found the position in the engine bay where you want it, you basically just installing it. So it's a quite straightforward, nothing advanced to it. The kits might be a little bit different. This kit came with the hose included, and I don't like this hose so much. It feels more like a garden hose, something rather than something you would put in your engine bay. So what I prefer to do is to pick up some coolant hoses and use those instead. Therefore, I have this kind of hose, and compared to the other one, it's a big difference. I'm not sure if it would make any big difference while it's on all there, but this just feels better. So what we're gonna do now is that we're gonna run some hoses, we're gonna find a location for this one, and then we're gonna connect it all back up. So I found a good spot for installing it on my vehicle by using this bracket, and basically I will drill a hole here, put the bracket on here, and attach the catch can like this. So I drilled 2 holes where I'm gonna put my bracket in. Okay, so I threaded 2 holes here, and I used these tools instead. It's an M8 hole. It's maybe a little bit too big, so I'm not sure if the bracket will fit. So if that's the case, I need to make the holes bigger in the bracket. Seems like that's the case. So for that, I'm just gonna make these holes bigger, and then I'm just gonna fit it here. Maybe I'm doing this more complicated than what you need to do it, but well, it doesn't really matter how you do it. Basically, you could also just like drill 2 holes here and put a bolt through, and a nut on the other side. That would work as well. So maybe I'm doing it, maybe I'm overcomplicating it, but doesn't matter. So the holes are bigger now. And to prevent some corrosion in this, I'm gonna put some grease around here as well. And it fits. So now we have the bracket in place. And the next step would be to put the oil catch can on the bracket, and then we're gonna take the hoses and attach them in place. In order to put the catch can on here, we need to attach this hose clamp around the catch can. And now this should fit around the bracket. I think that's a good one. And now I'm just gonna make it snug. Before I move onwards much more, I want to reassure that I could actually close the hood without any issues. And I can do that. It would be a little bit annoying if I couldn't. So the first hose is connected now. So what's next is the second one that goes from the oil catch can to the intake. And you also see here that there's this white goo that I want to catch with the oil catch can. So before I'm installing this, I'm going to clean this out, and I'm also going to remove the air intake and clean that out. As we see in here, there's a mixture of like oil and this blow by, and you also see down here on the intake manifold that you have this here laying around. So let's get rid of all that. And for the intake as well, I'm just using an old microfiber cloth and cleaning it out. So we're starting to reach the last step, which is to reattach one cable here and measure the length we need. And it will be about that, and then you just cut it from here. It's just a matter of attaching it the proper way. There we are. The oil catch can is installed and it's ready to go. So what we got here now is one hose goes from the engine and it goes to the oil catch can. This one will catching the oil, and there's another hose that goes into the air intake. So all the oil that are sent out from the blow by here will be caught in the oil catch can. So we're done here, and if you enjoy this kind of content, give it a thumbs up, and if you don't, give it a thumbs down. But I prefer if you're giving it a thumbs up, even if you don't like it. Anyway, installing an oil catch can is quite simple, and it's something I recommend you to do on like most vehicles, and the procedure is basically the same for all kind of vehicles. I have a blue one as well that I'm going to install on the Mustang. I think it's just a good thing to have, because why would you want to have oil fumes and all those stuffs getting burned into your air intake? I noticed that I had some like weird smoke coming from the exhaust from this Suzuki. Some of it is some condensation because it's when you're starting it up, so that's all natural. It's not the head gasket, because I replaced the head gasket and I looked over those things. So I'm confident that I think I'm suspecting that it is the blow by that is like getting stored up there, and then when I start it up, it's getting sucked in and you get that smoke. So it's going to be interesting to see how well this one works out, and I'm going to do another video after a while when I had it on for a while and see if it works and how much oil it catch, if the indicator works, if it's not leaking and stuff like that. If you want to see more content like this and how-to films on the Suzuki, click up here to see a full playlist, and click here to subscribe. Leave a comment below, give a thumbs up, subscribe, and click that bell icon and all that kind of stuffs. And thanks for watching, and I see you later.